guys, we are going to work on practice sheet 22. So first off is number 1. It says, what is the equation of the line? So hopefully everyone knows when looking at this graph, is this proportional or non-proportional? And hopefully we know it's not proportional, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, that is not proportional. Okay, linear, but not proportional. So then we need m and we need b. Now hopefully, based on our slope face, you know that this slope is negative. Okay, so y and x stay the same and the slope will be negative. Negative something, that's your job. B is the y-intercept, meaning where it crosses the y-axis. So where it crosses the y-axis, or the number that tells me it is not proportional, is going to be 5. So B is 5, it's going to be plus 5. Okay. Now for M, do rise over run. Okay. You already know it's negative. Slope triangle, rise, run. Rise, run. How much up? How much over? That is your rise and run. It's going to go right here. Okay. Just make sure it's negative because that run is going backwards. Okay. Number 2, what is the equation of the line? So your job is to figure out if it's y equals kx, or if it's y equals mx plus b. Either way, we know x and y stay the same, okay? So delta y over delta x, whatever you get there, that will be your m. Okay, and here's your big old hint, guys. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is b right there, whatever you get. If it's positive, if it's negative, that's your b, okay? Number 3, point Q is shown on the number line. Which value is best represented by point Q? So guys, this is one of those where we kind of need to use our calculator for this, okay? By the way, I can tell pretty quick a couple of these are definitely wrong. What I do know is Q is going to be between 5 and 6, so it's going to be 5 point something, right? I would always make sure you write that down first. Okay, now this is the midway point. That's 5.5. So it has to be less than 5.5. Whatever it is less than 5.5. Now put these in. Only one of these should be below 5.5. Only one of them. So choose that answer. Punch this into your calculator. It's next to the 4. Okay? To the left of the 4, it says x squared, and then it's yellow. There's a square root symbol. Okay, now we're going to look at number 4. So on number 4, we're using the slope formula. So everybody, guys, we've got to make sure we have our formula chart. Okay? So here's the formula chart. Slope of a line. We're going to be doing an ed puzzle on this. Okay? Here's our slope of a line. And it was m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So I would label these first. So 9 and negative 3. I'm making sure I'm copying it right. Negative 6 and 7. Okay. It does not matter which one is which as long as you stay in the same order. So I'm going to label this one 0.1. This is 0.2. This is x1, y1, x2, y2, x2, x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so go on and put your minus so you don't forget y2 That's y2 is 7 minus y1 is negative 3. 7 minus negative 3. Then over here, x2, negative 6 minus x1 is 9. Okay. So you're going to punch this in the calculator and then let the calculator simplify for you. 7 minus negative 3. If you punch that in your calculator, you should get 10. Negative 6 minus 9. This will give you a negative number. Then punch it into your calculator, okay, and put your final answer here. Leave it the way it is, okay? A simplified proper fraction. Okay, so now, which transformations maintain congruence? So when they maintain, that means there's not a number in front. This one, there's a number in front. So these do not maintain congruence. If you don't have a negative, if you do not have a number in front, something different than 1, okay, then it should maintain congruence, the ones that don't have a number in front. So look, if you have a number in front, cross it out. Okay, guys, so on number 6 and 7, since I've realized since they're not letting you use your formula chart on math, we need to start making sure we know our formulas. So, A, pi r squared, okay? A is pi r squared. I need you to be in the habit of looking at these formulas until you know them, okay? And then what I would do is I would learn the radius one. That way you only are dealing with radius, okay? If you know both circumference formulas, that's fine. But I would make sure, guys, put your radius here. Remember, you divide that by 2. That'll give you the radius. When I do circumference, don't worry about the pi d. Just do 2 pi r. I know in this case it's an extra step, but just make sure you know which is which. Okay? Square is always area, guys. When you are squaring something, it's going to be area. Okay? Because your units are squared. The units here will be centimeters squared. The units here will just be centimeters. Don't worry about this with number 7. This is just this circle. And last but not least, number 8, I did a shorter one today. A water hose discharges water at a rate of 45 gallons per minute. There's my rate, my unit rate. Which graph has a slope that best represents this rate? Okay, so remember, X, Y. X is almost always time. Remember that old watch? Time, X. Okay, so in this case, minute per minute means 1 minute, 45 gallons in 1 minute. Okay, then if I have 2 minutes, there's nothing else that it gives us, so that would mean I double that, right, which is 90. Your job is to make sure these points go through this, okay? So, for instance, 1:45, that one's good, but 2:90, that's where it should be. So this one is wrong. You want to make sure those points are on the line, okay? So figure out which graph. 2 of these are very, very close. You got to look carefully, okay? Which graph represents a slope, this slope?